It is no secret that margins have been compressed when selling on Amazon here over the last couple of years. There's been increased pay-per-click costs. Demand has started to soften from consumers, which means that there's a bunch of competitors fighting for less clicks, meaning price wars. And then if you layer in all the operational complexities, shipping costs, tariffs, raw material costs from factories, all of this has culminated in an environment where margins are just not what they used to be. So everything and anything you can do to reduce costs, improve margins, and add cash back into your business, especially if it's easy, can unlock a massive competitive advantage. Now, a lot of things to improve costs and improve margins can be tricky, difficult, and take 5, 6, 7, even a year to actually see the fruits of your labor. But in this video, no BS, I'm gonna walk through one of the fastest, easiest ways to put thousands, or potentially if you're a big seller, hundreds of thousands of dollars back into your business. So let's get after it. What is up, guys, and welcome to Heist. And in this video, we're gonna just go straight for the jugular vein and get right after it. It's no secret that Amazon is imperfect. There's a lot of amazing things about the platform. There's a lot of amazing things about the operations behind the scenes that they've created, making what I think is one of the best marketplaces and best opportunities to sell physical products, goods via e-commerce. But they're fallible. They mess up shipments. They lose stuff. They damage your goods. And frankly, they make mistakes that they don't always know that they've made, and that us as sellers and brand owners need to identify to get that money back. And in the world of Amazon, this is done through identifying these mistakes, submitting tickets, and working those tickets such that that money comes back to you that Amazon owes you. Now, honestly, historically, this has just been a necessary evil that I've seen in my own businesses. It's not something I've enjoyed doing. It's not something I've enjoyed implementing, but it's been really important. So for a number of years, we've managed that in-house with my team, manually identifying these things, submitting tickets, and working them to get cash back into the business. And frankly, I thought it was working fine. But I decided to put one of the up and coming big players in the Amazon reimbursement space to the test with one of my own brands. And over the course of a couple months, I thought what we knew pretty good within our own business, we actually knew nothing about. They identified hundreds of things that we didn't identify, and thousands upon thousands of dollars back into our business that we simply wouldn't have uncovered otherwise. Now look, if you're like me, you don't care about some of this stuff, whether it's shipping or bookkeeping or reimbursements. It's the unsexy part of the business. And it's frankly a part of the business that I thought was a commodity. Look, if you just identify these costs, you submit them, we'll get the cash back. Figured we knew our stuff. But Seller Investigators, a reimbursement service that's underneath the Carbon 6 umbrella, changed my perspective on it being a commodity. Now, if you followed this channel the last couple of years, I don't stand behind stuff that I don't believe in. I don't stand behind stuff that I haven't tested in my own business. And I don't stand behind things that I don't think can really fundamentally impact folks like you that watch this channel. And this may be one of the easiest, most profound discoveries I've discovered in this really difficult margin environment to put cash in your business. So let's first just talk about how this works, right? So Amazon makes mistakes across a bunch of different areas. You can submit tickets. Oftentimes you need to work those tickets to the nth degree, as is Amazon, to get that money back. So a space over the last couple of years has emerged where there's been service providers that basically take between 15 and 20% of anything that they can uncover. They claw those earnings back to you. You cut a small piece of the pie to them, and they run those reimbursements on your behalf. And I was one of those sellers that was like, look, I'm not going to give up 15, 20%. I think we can do it well, despite the fact that there's a lot of trusted brands and providers in the space that do this. But I was speaking with Justin Cobb, the CEO of Carbon 6, and he changed my perspective on this. One of their marquee acquisitions in the software space is a provider called Seller Investigators. And I'm like, all right, let's just see how good this thing is. And I frankly had pretty low expectations, again, because I thought it was a commodity. Didn't think there was anything special about it. But the rocks that they turned over, the dashboard and platform that they've created, and the hundreds upon hundreds of expert level employees, many of which are ex-Amazon, that they've leveraged to build their processes. They've literally uncovered money that I just didn't even think existed. But my next question was, okay, well, there's other people that do this, and there's some famous ones in the space that you're probably aware of and may even be using today. And what was most profound for me is that they've literally gone through some massive sellers that have used these other services, whether it's in-house or other service providers, and found millions upon millions of dollars that these services did not find. So I don't think it's a commodity. Hand to heart, I believe that seller investigators is one of the coolest ways to put thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars back in your business. So let's look at a couple examples here. So this first one is a big one because this is one of the largest Amazon sellers in the world. And they uncovered over $4.5 million, yes, $4.5 million in missed reimbursements through over 12,000 cases. And so that was a pretty huge example. So I asked for some other use cases on what they've been able to do, again, to validate this before I would actually share it with folks in my audience. So another example, again, an experienced, sophisticated brand and seller on the platform is Bicycle Addiction. They're a top Amazon seller. They've had a 3-year relationship with seller investigators, close to 10,000 cases filed on their behalf, and over $1 million in total reimbursements that they uncovered that Amazon owed this business. Now you might be saying, okay, these are big dogs, great Adam. What about my situation? Here's a more down the middle example with Rubberneck. These guys have $3.7 million in sales, and through close to 500 tickets, they uncovered almost $55,000 in total reimbursements into this business. Again, this is a very successful and thriving brand. Again, a pretty close example to a lot of the audience on this channel, and $50,000 is a crap load of money. Another similar example, Spring Lane. Over $60,000 uncovered from a brand that does a little over $3 million in annual sales. Another one, Midland Radio. Over $400,000 uncovered. And again, in my own business, they've uncovered close to 100 cases that we did not find in one of my own brands as I put this through a 2-month test. So I've changed my opinion on reimbursement strategy and improving margins in my own brands. We've moved from doing this in-house to leveraging seller investigators. And most importantly, I don't think this is a commodity space anymore. I do not think that all reimbursement services are created equal. I think that to be effective, you need to have hundreds of employees, the most cutting edge knowledge of what's working today from a ticketing process. Ex-Amazon employees that know what it takes to get reimbursements pushed through the door and money back into your business. So if you're like me and probably every other Amazon seller out there that's looking for ways to add margin back into your business, to add cash flow back into your business, that's why I shot this video today. There's a link down below, even if you're doing stuff in-house, even if you're using other reimbursement services, or if you've never done any reimbursements whatsoever, where you can get an audit in literally 48 hours to see what value might be existing under those little reimbursement rocks in your own business. I think for most sellers, this can equate to thousands of dollars. I think for mid-sized sellers, they're doing $2 to $4 million. You can expect a mid-10 figure amount of value unlocked. And if you're a larger brand or a larger seller, there's the potential for 6 figures or even millions of dollars in unrecovered value that may exist in your business today. There's few easy wins in this game. As we know, building these businesses, a lot of it's hard yards and you got to earn your keep. But this is one of those easy things that you can set up in 5 to 10 minutes, set seller investigators loose, see what they can find. If they find nothing, nothing lost. But if it's anything like my business or the case studies of even the top Amazon seller that you've seen in this video, there's probably a lot of value that is easy money back in your pocket. So check that link down below. It literally takes minutes to set up. And in the next couple of days, you'll see what value might be there for your business. And I've also included an SOP just to show you how to set this thing up in minutes. Again, if you know me, I don't recommend stuff I don't believe in. And this is one of the easiest wins that I think can really add value in a tough environment for folks on this channel, for folks in the Amazon space, and for folks that are looking to grow and scale their margins on the Amazon platform. Now, stay tuned next week. If this is your first time here, go ahead and hit subscribe. I'm going to be dropping one of the biggest videos that I have on this channel ever, and certainly will be in 2023. That's because I'm going to be releasing and sharing a brand that I'm building from scratch on Kickstarter publicly for the first time. So whether it's videos like this, there are simple, easy ways to improve the operations of your business and the cash flow of your business, or bigger strategic concepts on how I'm thinking about the future of building e-commerce brands. Thank you guys for joining me. If you have any questions, drop them down below. I hope to see you here next week for that new brand launch and in the weeks ahead as I share more of my journey scaling, building, and growing e-commerce brands. Cheers, guys.